I and my party, the party I'm leading, and the army that I'm leading, will implement this agreement without any fail.
The deal includes setting up a transitional government and organizing elections, although no date has been mentioned. Rebel leader Riek Machar, who is also the former vice president, distanced himself from involvement in an alleged coup on December 15th. It was this event that ushered in the spiral of violence.
I thank His Excellency for his...
The incident of the 15th brought the chaos. I want to dissociate myself with the incident. I did not cause it. I had no reason to return South Sudan to war.
It's to be seen if the truce will hold. A previous ceasefire deal in January quickly fell apart within days.
Well, there are growing calls for the Nigerian government to do more to rescue the more than 200 girls who were abducted by suspected Boko Haram militants. On Friday, Muslims in Nigeria used prayer services to condemn the actions of the militants. Others appealed to the militant leaders to release the girls. We have more on that story in this report.
Muslims across Nigeria prayed on Friday for the safe return of over 200 schoolgirls abducted by the militant Islamist group Boko Haram last month. Crowds attended the prayer service at mosques in Nigeria's commercial capital, Lagos. One Muslim cleric expressed outrage against the actions of Boko Haram.
They are not a Muslim. They are not fighting for God. They are not fighting for religions. They are fighting for devil. They are fighting for devil.
Amid protests against the abductions, one Lagos student appealed to Boko Haram's leader to liberate the girls.
The children they are crying every day by day. They are in hunger. You should release them for Allah's sake. You should release them. That's what you can only beg him that you should release those children.
The girls were abducted on April 14 from their secondary school in northeastern Nigeria. Boko Haram's struggle for an Islamic state has killed thousands of civilians. The group has targeted churches, mosques, schools and universities. In February this year, they killed 59 boarding school students in their sleep. At the Al-Habiyya Mosque in the capital Abuja, the chief imam said daily prayers would continue until the girls were released.
We've been organizing prayers almost every day in the mosque, and every Sunday we make sure that we organize a bigger one to cap it every week and we'll be doing this inshallah until these children are rescued and until also this program, these crises are over.
Muslims throughout Nigeria appear united in their condemnation of Boko Haram and their call for the release of the schoolgirls. They're also united in saying that Boko Haram's actions have nothing to do with Islam.
I want to inform the whole world, this case is not a religious matter.
Opposing demonstrations in Bangkok underscores the depth of Thailand's political divide. Government supporters, the so-called red shirts, are massing a protest on one side of the capital, while anti-government demonstrators are pressing their demands for the removal of the rest of the caretaker government. We have details in this report by CNN.
It's Channel 3, home to one of the most popular TV stations in Thailand, and anti-government protesters have surrounded the building. In fact, this is one of 5 major local TV stations they've surrounded, demanding that they stop broadcasting what they consider to be biased information. In fact, they're calling on them to stop broadcasting any information to do with the government at all, and they want them to broadcast live and in full a statement by PDRC leader Sutet Thaugsuban. The media only reports one side of the story, the way the government wants it presented, this man says. We're not here to put pressure on the press, says this woman. All we're asking them to do is report the truth. The Thai Journalists Association has released a statement saying that this protest is tantamount to press intimidation and an impeachment on press freedoms in Thailand. They're calling on the PDRC to stop this protest immediately and allow editorial teams to carry out their jobs. But how effective is this protest really? Channel 3 has told CNN that their staff are able to go in and out of the building freely and their broadcasts haven't been affected. We were promised a final day of battle on Friday, and protest leader Sutet Thaugsuban simply asked people to stay one more night at Government House. He didn't stay there himself. And let's not forget that this protest is also a welcome distraction to the red shirt pro-government protest being carried out today on the other side of Bangkok. Tens of thousands of red shirts, that's pro-government supporters, have turned out at this rally outside Bangkok on the famous Aksa Road, and they're spread right down it. Now, the rhetoric on stage is all about steering the debate away from the anti-government protesters, talking about the Shinawat political family dynasty and corruption in politics. What they're talking about is a battle for democracy in Thailand, and saying that this is very much a clash of classes. I want to call on the people of Thailand to protect democracy, this minister from the caretaker cabinet tells me. Otherwise, before we know it, we'll have nothing. And as night falls, thousands more people have flocked to this rally to show their support for the government. The Per-Thai Party and the UDD have certainly proven that they can bring people out in huge numbers. But neither side are able to provide a permanent solution to Thailand's political debate. All the while, the economy, trade and tourism is suffering. Simon Mawson, CNN, Bangkok, Thailand.
Well, time now to take a second break. Stay tuned. Welcome back, and over now to sports. The capital city Banjul might enjoy what is arguably the most ideal environment to play the game of cricket. However, that has never stopped the Gambia Cricket Association from moving the game to the rest of the country. The GCA Saturday afternoon sent dozens of boys and girls from the city to Brikama, where they played in a series of matches. Ababukar Senghor reports Brikama female side defeated Banjul by a single run in the first match.
In Cricket to Africa is the driving initiative behind this day's outing in Brikama Jamisa. This game, however, has had a deep-rooted presence in this community long before this particular ICC support scheme, thanks to Gambia Cricket Association schools intervention.
These people have been taught the basics from the grassroots development program, so they have an advantage compared to others who just came and do it. Here, the primary school boys are playing nice. The girls, look at the girls, they're bowling straight, and they're getting wickets. And that means they've been trained, they've been developed. That's the joy we're having here. So the game is going in Brikama. And what I've discussed with some of their leaders and their stakeholders, they said they will do all they can to support cricket. So that's our joy.
This day-long event staged at the Jamisa Upper Basic School followed on a series of off-field activities by cricket officials to promote the growth of the game in the Gambia through vital training programs for umpires, association members and coaches.
Yeah, for the fielding, they still need to play straight. The batting needs to play, they have to bat straight. That's where they have to work on. Also, when they fielding, they're all flat-footed. They're just standing one place. They should move with the bowler. There are small things that they should adjust when they are fielding. But the commitment is there, and also have to work more on their throwing and all those catching. Those things will come in place. But the basic, which I think is more difficult with the graphs, is the bowling, which I'm very happy with.
The drive to expand the game in the Gambia is slowly taking shape, and there was proof of that when a Brikama girls team defeated their Banjul counterparts by a single run in what was a tightly contested test game.
It is a replica. 2 years ago, these girls came from Banjul, and you know, cricket has been introduced in Banjul for so many good years. All right?
Banjul is the home of cricket.
Exactly. And they came, we defeated them. This time also they came, we defeated them. That means a change, and also it's telling them, it's a signal that they need to train if they want to be in the national teams. Sure. Because they have schools that are competing them. Sure. West Coast is competing them. So if there anybody who want to represent this country, you must train hard. Sure. It's not going to be like before. Thank God that Johnny has done his best. They have decentralized.